argue, then cheer. Red flags up. Shots in a cup. If it's messy, then you know.
And we're live. Welcome back to Uncomfortable Convo. It's your boy, don't want the scar in his face, your boy Scarface, and welcome back to another episode. And I really do appreciate you guys. Every week you guys are tuning in. I really do appreciate it. You guys, the support is crazy, and it motivates me every week to make a new episode for you guys. So again, thank you guys, and shout out to everyone who goes over to naughtyscience.com and picks up some toys, you know, for you and your partner or just you. You know, we got a special discount code in the description. So just in case you want to go over there, support Naughty Science. Make sure you guys go over there. Yes, that is my store. Absolutely. But this is something I wanted to do just to help everybody, you know, especially there's some guys who, shout out to the guys who buy stuff from there. There's plenty of guys who buy stuff. And that's what I wanted, is guys to feel comfortable buying this stuff. So shout out to naughtyscience.com. Make sure you guys go check it out. So now we've all been there. You're vibing, you're in your feelings, and then they say something that deep down inside of you makes your stomach drop. But instead of running, you double down like it's a group project. So today we're talking about those one-liners that scream red flag. The ones that make your friends say you're still talking to them. Yeah, those. We're going to be talking about those. So make sure you go get a drink. Make sure if you're on your way to work, drink that coffee. You know, no distractions. You're here to learn. You're here to educate yourself, okay? So, and just in case anybody says this. So the first thing that we're going to get into, we're going to break down the classic phrases that people say and what they really mean. Because let's be honest. I'm sure everybody has heard a red flag type of comment, type of response, type of text message, right? So, and we're going to get into them. So if this has happened to you, you might want to rethink that. And if it starts an argument, then it starts an argument. So the first one that I have is, I'm not ready for a relationship. Red flag, right? In reality, what they're saying is, I want all the benefits of one without the effort or the commitment. And let's be honest. And that's why I'm telling you, if they tell you something like that, they're not ready for a relationship. They're telling you in a nice way, we can vibe, we can hang out, we can hook up, we can do whatever we're doing. All the benefits of being in a relationship without having that official label or that commitment to each other. Because if you're just in a situationship and they go and cheat, you can't get mad at them. You can't get upset at them. Because technically, you guys are not together, right? So that's why you have to be careful. You know, you don't want to be, especially if you're looking for something serious. Pay attention to the little things that they tell you, like that, for example. Okay. If they tell you anything in close proximity to that, you know, let's take it slow. Let's go with the flow, you know, let's just vibe. I just want to be friends for, okay. If somebody who's actually interested in you is not going to say, I'm not ready for a relationship, they're going to let you know, like, hey, like, I can see us being serious, especially if you ask them. I can see us being serious. Maybe let's get to know each other a little bit more, because before in the past, I dove, you know, head first and ended up biting myself in the ass. Like, things like that happen. I'm sure a lot of people have been there too. I've been there. You dive in head first and all of a sudden it just comes crashing down. So if they say anything close to that vicinity, definitely a red flag, okay? So pay attention. Stop. It doesn't matter how fucking hot they are or how good looking or whatever, how great the D is. Stop letting that make the red flag orange, greenish, right? So another thing to look out for is, my ex was crazy. What they really mean is, I was probably the problem. Because, and especially early on in the first few dates, and they can't stop talking about their ex, or they bring their, oh, my ex this, my ex that. They straight bash them every time. That's definitely a red flag. Because why are you bashing, you know, your ex? Because you could be next. If you guys start dating, guess what? If you guys don't work out, he's also going to be talking bad about you the same way he can talk bad about, or she can talk bad about, like, the ex is the same way that they'll talk about you. Because I'm pretty sure they were in this similar situation, right? First date, everything's going great. You guys are vibing. You know, she probably talked about her previous ex. He probably talked about his previous ex. Now, and especially if they make every ex seem like they're crazy, they're the problem. Who's the common denominator here? He is. She is. You know, they're not all crazy. Maybe there's something about that person that's making them crazy, right? Because I'm pretty sure some people have dated a crazy ex, or they have a crazy ex, or you're with somebody who's kind of crazy. And so you need to pay attention to that, like how they talk about previous relationships. I don't like to talk about previous relationships. Do they come up in conversations sometimes? Yeah. Because if the conversation that we're having is in relation to that, yeah, I don't mind talking about it, and I don't mind hearing it from you. But if you're constantly bashing your ex, if I'm constantly bashing my ex, what does that tell you? That they're probably not over this person, or they just talk bad about every ex. Because again, if they can talk bad about every ex, you're next. Basically, if you get into a relationship with this person, you are next. Plain and simple. Okay. So definitely pay attention to that. Now, another red flag when they say this, I don't like labels. What they actually mean is I like options, or I don't really want to be with you. Because if they say they don't like labels, that's an easy way of saying like, hey, like, I'm not trying to put a label on this. Yeah, like if you want to like hook up, meet up, and things like that, have all the benefits of being in a relationship, but just no commitment, no labels. You're letting it be okay, like to keep you there, and you don't. You have to 10 toes down. If you want to be in a serious relationship and they can't almost like reassure you that this is where this is heading, go find somebody who's going to, because they're eventually going to break your heart. They're eventually going to be like, hey, you know what? This is not working out. Hey, or you find out they got with somebody else or something like that, right? So definitely pay attention to that. Because most guys would love to be in a relationship. Most guys would love to be in a relationship. They just don't want to be in a relationship with you if they tell you something like that. You know, because even girls want to be in a relationship. You're not just going to be in a relationship with some random guy, right? It has to be the right one. And same with guys. Like, they want to be in a relationship. They want to have their queen, but it has to be the right one. And if you were the right one, trust me, he'd be trying to lock you down. And if you're not the right one, he's going to hit you with the, I don't like labels. That's not my thing. You know, no. So if they hit you with that, definitely a red flag. Another one that I have is I've never felt this way before, which actually means I use this line on everyone. And I get it. I'm sure it feels great hearing those words from that person, right? Hearing things like, I've never felt this way before, probably makes, like maybe I'm making him feel a special way. Maybe I am going to be the one that stops him from cheating on everybody. Maybe I can change him. Because I guarantee you they've said those lines to somebody else. Most guys recycle lines. Most guys recycle things that work. So if that line worked in the past, they're going to recycle the line. They just, they're not hitting every new relationship with some brand new game. No, they're using whatever worked in previous. Oh, I said this before. Didn't really like it, but I said this and it worked. She was like, oh, it's so sweet. So you have to be careful when they tell you certain lines like, I've never felt like this way before. Really? You have to take that with a grain of salt. Maybe you do make them feel that way. Again, maybe you do. But, if I were to bet money on it, I would not be betting money on that. I would definitely be like, yeah, I'm not betting on that because I know the chances are very high that that's a bunch of BS, because some guys, like I said, some guys recycle lines. And that is one of the most common recycled lines that guys use. And they will use it with because in the beginning, they want to make you feel special. So they're going to tell you cute things to make you feel special. Maybe they do mean it. Does everybody make you feel slightly different? Absolutely, because everybody's different. You know, like none of my exes have all been the same, like for the most part, right? This ex made you feel this way. This one made you like different relationships you've been in, right? Some relationship, it made you feel fucking horrible. Some relationships, it felt good. Like it felt like a certain type of way, right? They each have their own little thing to them, right? Same with like being intimate. They all have their own type of like intimacy. Like it's never like, oh, her and her were exactly the fucking same. Unless they were pillow princesses, then that's your fault for choosing the pillow princesses. So another red flag that you guys hear oh too well. You're too good for me, or you're way out of my league, which is also, it translates to I'm about to waste your fucking time. Because they're already telling you that, or they're making you feel like this might not work. Because even if you are out of their league, because I've gone on dates with girls and gone out with people, and sometimes I'm just like, how the fuck did I do it, right? But I go in with confidence and I'm like, hell yeah. I've never once in my life let the girl know that she was out of my league, or been like, hey, because then she's going to be like, oh shit, well, he's shooting for the stars right now. Then, like, I wonder what he's gotten before. So like, I've never in my life have said that. And if anyone wants to come out and say I've said that differently, then go ahead. Because I do not remember ever saying you're too good for me. So they're already letting you know like, hey, this might not work out because you're a little too good for me. You're out of my league. So if this falls apart, or they're already putting it into the universe that this is going to fall apart eventually because you're too good for them. You're out of their league, right? They're already putting it out there saying like, this is probably not going to work, right? Am I wrong or right? Oh, sorry. Got to take a little drink of a little drink. So if somebody ever mentions something like that to you, definitely red flag. Take it with a grain of salt. And if they also say, let's just see where this goes, that translates to it's going nowhere. It's going absolutely nowhere. Because I've used that line before. Let's just see where this goes. But in reality, I knew it was not going anywhere. And that's true, because I didn't want to be in a relationship with this person. I was just there temporarily, right? I was just there for certain reasons, not a relationship reason, just certain reasons, right? Maybe just because I'm bored, somebody to hang out with, or it could be different for everybody. But yes, I've absolutely used that line, and I meant that. Like, it was not going anywhere. So if a guy says, let's just go with the flow, let's just see where things go, let's just be friends first, they're telling you already that this is not going to work. That they don't see you seriously. Because if I see somebody seriously and want to pursue them seriously, they're going to know and they're going to feel it. Because I've talked about it before, guys know very early on what their intention, not if you're going to be wife material, you don't know that, right? But they do know if they want to pursue you as just like a hookup or something entertaining for a little bit, or somebody for a serious relationship. They know that within the first couple dates. Because you know how there's some people like love at first sight, or guys usually know that they want this person as their wife. No, because for the most part, everybody goes through the whole puppy love, the whole, that lust phase, right? But one thing that I can say for sure is that in the very beginning, they know where this is going to go. Because I've been on a first date where I'm like, already in my head, I'm like, this is not going to work. Or like, I'm not going to call this person ever again. Yes, I've said it in my head. I'm like, yeah, not going to happen. And in my head, I'm like, all right, like, I don't see this person as somebody I would date, but I would definitely wouldn't mind just hooking up with, or just hanging out with for a little while. In my head, I already knew. And most guys do know, and then there's the girls, or like in my example, since I'm a guy, the person, I'm like, yes, I want to see where this goes. I can see myself with this person, because then you'll see this person try a little bit more for that person. Somebody they're not really interested, they're just like, eh. They don't really care. They don't really, put in a whole lot of effort. So that's what I'm saying. Like, pay attention to that. Let's just see where things go. No, if you're looking to be in a serious relationship, stop assuming. Stop assuming that means that I want a serious relationship. That's one thing that a lot of mostly ladies do, not all, but most, is that they assume things instead of just saying it, right? Don't be afraid to say something. Don't be afraid to bring something up, because if you say something or bring something up and that's going to make them stop talking to you, just leave you, run them away, you want that, because it was only a matter of time before they were going to leave. You just expedited that. Okay. We want them to leave early on. We want to filter these guys out. Don't be like, oh, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to scare him away. No, scare him away. You would rather waste a bunch of time and effort into somebody that's not going to be around. If you knew that, hey, this is only going to go this amount of time, would you still put in the same type of effort, or would you just bring shit up? Like if you knew the expiration date of whatever it was, trust me, your relationship would go a lot different. You'd be like, man, fuck this. We're only going to last a couple more months. Fuck this guy. So that's why, like, you definitely need to pay attention to that, right? So the next one that I have is, you deserve better. And that goes like to the one before where you're too good for me. But you deserve better also can translate to, I have no plans on being that person for you. Like, let's be honest. Like, they're already telling you that you don't deserve them. That you deserve something better than what they can give you. They're already saying what you need, they can't provide. They're already saying like, hey, I'm going to dip out eventually. Like, it's just a matter of time. So don't think that I'm going to be anything serious in your life, because it's only a matter, because you deserve better. So that's why you have to pay attention to those little things, especially early on. They'll tell you a lot of this stuff early on. Like, they'll give you all the signs, give you all the cues. The actions they show you, you'll be like, oh, like, he's really hot and cold, because he's not interested. She's not interested. We never hang out, never make time. They're not interested. Because if they were, trust me, they would be like, hell yeah, let's hang out. If you're that right one for them, trust me, they'll find time. Okay? Because when in the past, there was this girl that or not even in the past, like, when you can tell when somebody wants to hang out, because you'll basically say, hey, let's do this day. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Not be like, oh, well, I got plans that day. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know. That's basically saying that, yeah, like, I'm not really too interested in this. But, if I get bored, I'll hit you up, see where things go. Right? So, and also just know, if they also say they're bad at texting, just know that they probably text really fast. They're just bad at prioritizing people, right? You, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because that's another thing that some people, oh, I'm super bad at texting. People literally have their phones on them all day. They have watches that notify them. Yeah, sometimes you can't answer right away. And yes, I'm at fault, because sometimes when I'm editing, I can't answer right away. I'm doing a bunch of stuff, filming, I can't answer right away, right? But I eventually get back. I eventually message, and then you'll never feel like, oh, he would just ignore me that time. I'll tell you what I've been doing. Like, this is what I was doing, and then when I start filming or I start editing, I really start like lock in. Or if I start watching a video, I really lock into the video. It's hard for me like to remember to message somebody back, because I'm like super intrigued in the video. If it's a video I don't care, then obviously like you'll message the person back. So now the next segment that I have for you guys is more of like modern red flags, phrases and actions from modern dating culture, texting, DMs, situationships, and I'll give you some examples, right? If somebody says something like, I'm not on social media like that, the translation is, I have a private story for the real ones, basically. Okay. You know how there's some people like, oh, I'm not on social media like that. Or like when it comes to how come you don't share this, you share that? How come you never add me here? You know, if they basically say they're not on social media like that, even girls, they're on social media like that. Let's be honest. There's some people, who don't use social media that often, you know, which can also, some people actually think it's a good thing. Okay. But I know plenty of people who aren't very on like social media that hot, and they be cheating like fucking crazy because now if they don't post, if they don't do stuff, if they're not active on their social media, now like it's a normal thing, right? It's normal. Like I know somebody who never posts anything. It's been years, but this dude be all up in girls' DMs. So that's what I'm saying. Like take everything with a grain of salt. So, and also something that goes on now is you're acting crazy. It's a classic gaslighting starter pack phrase. You know, instead of, I get it. Sometimes if you are acting crazy, you're probably acting crazy. But if anything, like if you're upset at them for something they did and they tell you you're acting crazy, gaslight. If you're fucking beating the shit down the door or like throwing shit, breaking shit, of course someone's gonna be like, stop acting crazy. You see the difference, right? I'm not getting mad at you or telling you stop acting crazy for you upset. You know what I mean? You know, you bring something up. Oh, I found out that you're talking to this girl. And then it starts an argument and she's all super upset at you or he's super upset at you. And you're like, stop acting so crazy. You gave me a reason to act like this. I'm mad right now. So again, pay attention to that and how they use it. If they're telling you that you're crazy just because you brought something up, you know, you confronted them about something, they're just like, damn, I can't believe that's crazy. You found out. That's what they're trying to say. Now, another one that I have is we don't have to post each other to prove it's real. Probably hiding something, right? Everybody has like, you know, I understand there's those people who post or not post, but we'll say like a private life's the best life and stuff like that. If you guys agree mutually, like of things like that, that we're not going to be posting each other or like let's just do us and then eventually do like, that's totally fine. But that's why it becomes really tricky with social media because nowadays it's like you have to post the person, right? Like you have to. And that was a problem with one of my exes, right? Like she got super upset because I had never posted her. And mind you, this was like early on in the relationship. And I'm just like, whoa, because we just fucking barely started talking not too long ago, right? And then she was like super mad that I hadn't posted her. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? You know, and then I fucking posted her and it was fucking downhill from there. But this is why you have to have a conversation about that, right? But if they've been posting you before and then all of a sudden they stop posting you and they're like, oh, we don't have to post each other to prove it's real. Be like, well, you were before, but now you're not. And maybe they're posting friends. You know what I mean? Okay. So definitely pay attention to that. Another one, a classic one. I'm just really busy or I'm just really busy lately. Basically is you're getting ghosted probably in slow motion. You know, because if especially in the beginning, if the energy is high, the intention's there, the desire is there, and then all of a sudden it just like starts pulling back, it's less and less and less. And then they just hit you with I just been super busy lately. They're slowly pulling back. Sometimes some people don't just cold turkey cut off somebody. They'll just like slowly dial it back. And then eventually it just fades away. So people get busy. I understand that. People have careers, people have hobbies, people have things that they like to do, right? But if you're putting in time, if you decided to get a girlfriend, boyfriend, or to pursue somebody, you've already accepted the fact that you're going to give this person some time. The mistake that some people make is they give them way too much time. In the beginning, like they always want to see you, they always want to hang out with you, they always want to do this. But then after that lust phase, that puppy love phase, wears off, that honeymoon phase, then they're just like, well, I want to keep doing this. Like I haven't done it in a while because we've always been hanging out. And then the attention starts pulling back. And then the other person, like they get in their head of like, why don't they want to hang out with me anymore? There's also that. But if they hit you with that, I'm just really busy. Like I said, we can make time for what's important to us. Yes, you may have to move stuff around. Yes, you may have to go like say, hey, like on Friday, let's do this. Be like, oh, I can't because I have this. Let's go Saturday, right? If they hit you with that, be like, oh, I can't that day because I have this. But Saturday, let's go Saturday. That's somebody who wants to hang out with you. If you're like, hey, we should hang out on Friday. Oh, I'm just busy. Sorry, yeah, I'm gonna be busy Friday. And they don't even attempt, oh, like what about Saturday? What are you doing Saturday? Be like, oh, like I'll let you know. I think I have something going on, but I'll let you know. They're basically saying, nah, fam. So again, people get busy, but people can make time for what's important to them, what they want, what they prioritize. So, and then another one that they say is, you remind me of my ex, which also means emotional damage incoming. If somebody really hit me with you remind me, like, I hate that. Oh my God. Like getting compared to your fucking ex, right? To me, that fucking annoys the shit out of me, to be honest, right? Because sometimes I feel they do it just like out of being angry or upset, or, there could be other reasons too. Maybe they're not healed over their ex. Maybe it's issues like that too. So don't hit your person, or don't hit that person. Or if they hit you with it, that you remind me of my ex, run fast. Because we get hit with these all the time. Or not all the time, but sometimes, especially when you kind of feel like this person is a red flag. They'll tell us something like that. You'll tell them something like that and you don't even know, or you want to blow it off as it's not a red flag. Like, this is going to work. They told me I'm their queen. They told me like this, I'm their everything. They told me that nobody makes me make them feel this way. So, but what we also are going to talk about is a healthy way, what should be said, what you should be saying instead of those. If you actually, maybe you tend to say it that way, but you don't mean it that way, right? So I just wanted to do a few examples, flipping the script a little bit with what healthy communication could look like. All right. So instead of saying, I'm not ready for a relationship, say, I like you, but I'm not in that place to give you what you deserve. Right. And that's letting them know, hey, like, basically saying like, and actually telling them, if somebody told you, I'm not ready for a relationship, now you're just like, well, like, you just need some time. Like, what's going on here? But if you say, I like you, but I'm not in that place to give you what you deserve, is basically telling you that I'm just not in that like feeling type of space with you, because some people make you feel like you want to be in a relationship with them. And some people, you really don't feel that. But if somebody were to tell me that, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, thanks for telling me, like I'm looking for something serious right now, not looking for anything fun, or like I need somebody who like knows what they want right now. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And then also, instead of saying my ex was crazy, saying my last relationship was unhealthy and I learned a lot from it. Don't get into detail and start bashing them on how crazy they are, because that question comes up sometimes. Like, so what happened with your previous relationships, or with your ex, what happened? Instead of just saying, oh yeah, she was crazy, so I left. Now, like, that's little kid talk right there. Grown up talk, healthy talk is my last relationship was a little unhealthy, toxic, or crazy. I learned a lot. Right. And then that's where you have to end it. That's all it's like, I learned a lot from that relationship, things that I will do or will not do ever again, or what I won't accept ever again from, to be in a relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong. This sounds way different than just saying my ex is crazy. Imagine you're like, oh, like what happened between you and your ex? My last relationship, it was really unhealthy. Right. I learned a lot from that relationship that I'm going to help, things that I will not do, things that I did wrong in the relationship that I'm trying to do better in the next relationship. If they hit you with that, girl, you're probably going to sleep on them day one. No, I'm just joking. But you can clearly tell the conversation, again, I'm the same. I never bash exes, I'll on this platform, I just say the truth. Like, if I'm in the wrong, they're in the wrong. If like, I just speak my truth. If they want to start their own page and talk about their shit, then go for it. But I just talk my truth, my side of the story. All right. So, and the last one that I have is, instead of saying, let's see where it goes, say, I want to take it slow, but I'm serious about getting to know you. Girl, if someone tells you that, now you're just like, oh, okay. Like, maybe he's rushed into it in the past, because I would just say, I want to take it slow right now, just because in the past I have rushed into relationships. I have rushed into things and it bit me in the ass because I really didn't get to know the other person. So I do want to take it slow a little bit, just to see if we are actually meant, compatible, align in a lot of things to be in a relationship. Girl, if a guy tells you that, you're just going to be like, take me right now. Take me right now, daddy. But you can see, like, clear, healthy, and direct, and letting you know. Not somebody who just like, let's just see where it goes. Let's go with the flow, let's just be friends first. That's why in the TikToks, I tell you guys, you're playing around, but I'm serious. I'll be like, tell them to give you a PowerPoint presentation on what let's see where this goes means. Because they should be able to say this other part. Not, oh, let's just see where it goes. Especially if you ask them that you want to be in you're looking for a serious relationship, and they just hit you with the, let's see where it goes. Or if you hit them with the, what are you looking for right now? Like, are you looking to be in a relationship? What are your intentions with me? Don't be afraid to ask people that. Excuse me. Because if they hit you, let's just see where it goes. Clearly you can tell what they want. But if they hit you with the, like I mentioned before, like, I just want to take it slow just because I've been, I'm serious about you, but I've rushed into things in the past, which bit me in the ass. And I'm sure you've done the same. So instead of, I don't want to be wasting each other's time or jumping into something that's not going to work. So I do kind of want to slow it down a little bit, see if we are actually compatible, see if we both align on certain things, and go from there. Right? Girl, that's, you're just going to be like, fuck yeah. I love that answer. And that just gives you the answer that you're looking for, right? So you got a green flag, red flag, clear as day once you actually start hearing what healthy communication should be. And they should be, if they're actually mean the stuff, they should be able to say that as soon as you ask them the question. Them lying it's easy just to be like, oh, let's just see where it goes, because in their head, they're currently thinking of the lie. Just in case you ask them again, they're going to be like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to say. So definitely pay attention to it. So I wanted to do this episode just so you guys could, because this is coming around a lot, and especially going into the holidays. Do you really want to be investing money into your person, like buying them gifts, going on vacations, when they're telling you stuff like this? You know, pay attention to what you say, because you go to company work parties, you know, you go to other people's work parties, family parties, friends parties, and you start meeting people, right? You want to know if they're temporary or just being serious. You might meet somebody and then they hit you with some of these red flag lines, you know, after like a week of dating. And so that's why I'm saying, like, pay attention to that. Now, my call to action for you guys this week is, if somebody's hitting you with any of these sayings, just be like, oh yeah, so what do you mean by that? You're gonna stump them. Like, if they hit you with something like, I don't like labels, be like, oh wow. Like, I actually I agree, but what do you mean by that? Can you like explain to me in detail what that means? Like, for you. And then just like look at them. I guarantee you, it'll be, well, like, you see, or I'm not ready for a relationship. They hit you with that. Just be like, oh, like, wow, like that's crazy to hear that you're not ready for a relationship, yet you go on dates. So can you really like explain to me what you mean that you're not ready for a relationship, but you're currently dating? I'm just curious. I'm not upset or anything. I'm just curious. I wanted to know your take on that. And trust me, they're going to be like, well, I'm done with this. Maybe even walk out on you. So that's my call to action this week. If somebody's giving you some BS lines, call them out on it. Because if you call them out and they end up leaving, they were going to leave regardless. All we did, like I said before, we just expedited that. And we want to listen to me. You want to expedite this. You want to filter these people out. Doesn't matter how good looking they are. Doesn't matter how great their D is. You want them out. Because we don't want people around us that are just temporary people. We want somebody who's going to be around for the long haul, more of a permanent type of person, not just somebody temporary who's just going to waste your time. If you're looking to just to have fun, then go for it. Cool. You know what you're there for. But if you're actually looking for somebody serious, you need to start paying attention to this. All the information, like a lot of things, you can learn a shit ton of stuff online, and paying attention to the most common red flags and sayings and stuff. And then, because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. A guy hits a girl with a red flag line, and they're just like, oh, like, and I'm just like, girl, like, you really gonna, really? So again, but anyways, I want to thank you guys. Every week you guys are tuning in, checking out the podcast. I really do appreciate you. Lets me know that you guys love the podcast, because you guys is always tuning in. We're getting so close to that 1 million. So thank you guys. Go over to naughtyscience.com and get something if you haven't gotten anything yet, especially for the holidays. We do take a little bit longer to ship just because there are a whole lot of shipping issues going on. So if you're looking to get something for your partner, yourself, for the holidays, or a friend or something, order it now. That way you can make sure it's here by the holidays. Okay. It's always better to be prepared than to be waiting last minute and having trouble to find anything. Again, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
End up for the toxic one. End up for the honest one. If you ever said we done, then text it back. That's a Scarface fact. Boom, boom.